Hey everyone, long-time fighting game enjoyer Sable here with a video. Instead of just showing like PvP on a game, I'm doing a bit of a retrospective. This is for mainly Dead or Alive 3 and Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate, which I played on the original Xbox. And Dead or Alive 3, yes, 3 came out before 2 Ultimate. 3 was the first fighting game I ever owned, and I got it in 2002 or 2003, probably 2003. And the first fighting game I ever played was Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo. I had a friend's house, and I'm pretty sure as soon as I played that, I was like, this is really cool. It was something I would always like. But yeah, I never got a lot of games when I was young. I had a Sega Genesis, and I got a PS1 much later. I never had any fighting games on those, just a few games. Sega had a couple like Sonic games, and on PS1 I had Gran Turismo and a couple Final Fantasy games. But anyways, I got an original Xbox in 2002 Christmas, I think, and I got like Halo and Metal Gear Solid and Jet Set Radio, and I was like, dang, this is really fun. But then I was like, oh yeah, fighting games are cool. And I got Dead or Alive 3, and I was hooked. Dead or Alive, I think the old Dead or Alives 2 and 3 were such good fighting games to start with for like someone that wanted to get into fighting games. They are at least the two I'm talking about here seem really easy to pick up and understand. There wasn't any crazy, super complex mechanics. I think the thing that my friends and I thought was the hardest thing to do was just doing the Azuna drop throw with Hayabusa. That was literally like peak gaming. Was if you could do that, you were like you were super good. But yeah, 3 didn't have online play, and I played it with friends locally, and we probably thought we were good, but we were just just like mashing counters and stuff. Anyways, I'm showing 2 Ultimate here, which is the one that I want to talk about because it was the one that had online play, and it was the one that came out after. So I think back, I went back and played both of them, and I think 2U is better. It had the counter system isn't as easy to abuse, and I mean it doesn't have as many characters as 3. That's probably all I'll say about 3 that I wish whereas in 2. Like if you like Brad Wong, Hayate, or Christie, you don't get to play as them in 2U. So I went back. I liked Hayate. He was my favorite character for a while. I think my favorite character is Hitomi now. So I'm showing her here. So yeah, Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate online on Xbox Live in like 2004, 2005 was really cool. It was the first fighting game I played online. I also had Guilty Gear X2 for Xbox, but that did not run as well, I think, and I don't think it had a ranking system. So DOA 2, you had like a letter grade and stuff. So I remember playing some crazy good people that were. Remember one S rank player that Church and I played against one night, and they were just like mind reader level good. Like the game is so much about knowing not what character your opponent is, but like what they're gonna do. Because if you know what they're gonna press, you can do the thing that beats that, and just like RPS, like getting RPS right every time. So yeah, it was really hard to play against someone that knew you better than yourself and like was a master of the game. You had to admire just like how straightforward and like simple the systems were back then, like compared to games now. Like this was just different. It was like there was no super meters or all these crazy resources. I don't know if anything in the game was plus on block. I obviously didn't like read frame data and stuff on this. It felt like if somebody blocked a move, it was their turn. There was no like, I'll make you block this move and then I'm plus. I don't think it had that. So yeah, these old Dead or Alive games were just good, honest fun. I have to address the sort of notorious reputation the Dead or Alive series had back then and probably still has. Yeah, even though like it seems like pretty normal for fighting games now to have like a lot of sexualization and a lot of revealing outfits and stuff. It was even back then, like Soul Calibur kind of had that too, right? Dead or Alive, it was like they really leaned into it, and it was like their whole brand was like the sexualization. Yeah, there was like which you can't really reduce like the the unrealistic physics. They kind of just like when you go back to the game, you're like, okay, that's pretty exaggerated, and you can't really. That's just the way it is, which is fine. I think I don't know if young me was that worried about it. I was just really excited to be playing as these really pretty characters, and I just thought that was really cool. So yeah, it has that sort of a reputation, and I hope that didn't cause people to not play it, you know, just especially like I said, how that seems pretty like normal for fighting games. Like you look at like Street Fighter and Tekken, and like a lot of the costumes are like that now. Like this isn't any this isn't any worse than anything else. Itagaki was just more into it first, I guess, and made it the brand of the game. The game was also sort of known for being simpler than other fighting games I remember. I remember like wanting to watch like Evo and like tournaments and stuff, and I was like, why aren't they playing Dead or Alive 2U or 4 or whatever, or 5? And it was always like they weren't as popular, and I guess the popularity, the series, for how good the series is, it was never as popular as maybe it could have been, and that's its own video. I think there's a lot of good types of videos like that on YouTube. But yeah, it should have been more popular, and I think it's fun to watch like tournament players. Like even for this game, I think that would be fun to watch. As someone who's watched a lot of tournaments of like say modern games, I still think these games are fun. They're different, and I like new games. I like old games. Yeah, I liked the simplicity of this, and how good defense was, and how it wasn't just a bunch of like resource spamming oppressive stuff. So yeah, I'm not like a big YouTube essay person. I wrote a few notes for this, and I sort of just went off the cuff, like sort of free flowing. I think I covered all of the main points I wanted to talk about. I started out as a Dead or Alive player. It got me into fighting games. It was my first 3D fighting game, first fighting game I owned, and I loved it back then, and these games are still really fun. Like I just playing against the computer on my Xbox, these are super fun still. I really like these. This and Soul Calibur 2, I think aged like mine. The graphics and gameplay are like still peak like 20 plus years later, and the simplicity of the rock paper scissors system, how strong holds are. You're not really in a combo in this game unless you're like launched in the air. So if someone just starts like hit you with a couple attacks and you're grounded, you can actually just get out of that and counter it. So defense is really strong. It's fun and easy to pick up. I would play this with all my friends in high school, and my sister, like, you didn't have to go into training or tutorial. You just like gave a person a controller. You said, this is punch, this is kick. You can block by pressing this or holding back. Press the other button to throw, and you just would tell them how to do counters and what counters were. That was the ones. And then they would start countering you out of your moves. Like your sister, who hadn't even played it before, would just start countering you. And it was just really fun. It was easy to pick up. It's just a good series, and it's gone. I never played 6. I never had interest in 6, and I hope with the renaissance of good fighting games, all the new good fighting games, all the old fighting games that are getting rollback updates. I love the Guilty Gear Plus R's, the BlazBlue Central Fictions, games that I either didn't play back then, or I played a different version, or I did play and I didn't have good netcode, so I didn't play online. Getting to replay those and rediscover how much I love those has been a lot of fun. So I hope series like Dead or Alive and Soul Calibur, I hope every series can be played in like a modern setting with like good online and stuff. I'd love to see this series come back, and I hope it does. Yeah, so I hope you liked this kind of a video. If you did, let me know, and I'll maybe make another one. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.
Get ready, fight! ready, fight! KO! Winner! Get ready, fight! KO! You get ready, fight! KO! Winner! Get ready, fight! KO! Get ready, fight!